The following is a fictitious episode in the lives of two make-believe hobos. The characters and events you hear are not real. Don't freak out.
And let it be. Gin.
Speaking of gins, how about some gin with this nice tonic water that I got my hands on? Let's pour a couple drinks, buddy. It's the Boxcar Buddies back in action. We want to show your reactions to this podcast. It's usually humor and fun times, but sometimes you also feel really mad. You're like, ugh, yuck, ugh, ah, fuck.
Yes, they do. Everybody's always screaming. It's just like, what's your problem? I mean, it's just a podcast.
It's just a joke.
I mean, come on. Anything like out of context is always so offensive. Like, you don't remove it from the context. It's like a piece of piece of pie, you know, but you're only cutting out like a little center circle.
You're not even getting like the edges of the pie. You're just cutting right into it. You're trying to party slice a pie like a pizza.
Yeah, you don't do that.
You don't do that to pizza either.
Yeah, exactly. You don't. Let's go squares, right? I prefer square slices.
No, that's what I'm talking about. Like you're squaring that pie.
You want the triangle slices.
I want triangles.
It depends on what we're talking about. Thin crust, I actually prefer the squares.
What?
I really do.
What? You're
I do.
high.
No.
You're crazy.
That has nothing to do with it. That
You're
has nothing to
stupid.
do with it.
You're a big dummy. You're a big dummy with a fat head.
You know what I like? I like the tiny little corner pieces that results from those from the
the
party
one that has
slicing.
no cheese and no sauce and it's just hard bread?
Yeah, but you don't feel as bad for eating it because it's a tiny little piece. So you're just like, ooh, I'm just going to take a sample.
I'm just going to take a little bite. I didn't want to take too much. I mean, you're the real actors.
I'm watching what I eat. Look, I'm watching it as I eat it. That's the joke. Yeah, that is a joke.
Yeah, with the square pizza, I'm probably going to grab 8 or 9 slices, and I'm like, oh, little cubes. This is the perfect amount. That makes one normal slice of pizza.
It's true. It's a lot more pieces.
I don't get. It's like a Midwest thing. It's stupid.
Maybe it's also about, you know, sort of like tricking your brain, because even though you'd eat
once you pop, you don't stop with fucking pizza.
Maybe, but it's like when you eat half of a triangular slice, you're like, oh my god, I've only eaten one half slice. I could just keep on crushing this stuff. But if you eat 4 of the tiny pieces, you're like, oh man, I better, you know, that's just 4 pieces I just ate. Like, I better take it easy. And your mind gets into it. It's a mind game with yourself.
No, when you're trying to eat those tiny little squares, you're thinking like, oh, it's an hors d'oeuvre. I can have as many as I want because it's just snacks.
And because it's a party.
Because you eat like 30 of them. And you're like, oh, I can still keep going because it's just an hors d'oeuvre.
And I don't want to be rude.
I don't want to be rude to the guests.
Yes. Yeah, that is...
Instead, how about you just give me a normal slice of fucking pizza?
Like a big one.
That has an adamant amount of toppings on it.
Oh, absolutely. Weigh it down with the toppings. Mm-hmm. I like to feel that.
I want it to be like an open-faced sandwich, but a pizza.
They have some of those. Or actually, it's not open-faced, but like a fold-over. They have like these fold-over sandwiches, but it's with pizza-like ingredients. And they fold it in, so it's like just a really thick New York style. So it's like a calzone? Kind of, except that it's not encased. It's just like folded over.
So it's a pizza burrito? Or is it just the East Coast, like... pizza fold slice?
It's the pizza fold slice.
You've seen me eat. That's how I eat pizza.
Well, yeah, for sure. But like it's thicker. Like the edges around it are thicker, so it's more sandwichy. Yeah,
it's a pizza book.
Yeah,
every page is a different ingredient.
Read it.
Here's the cheese page. Here's the sauce page. Here's the pepperoni page.
Don't skip ahead. I don't want to see the end.
I don't want to see the olives just yet.
Don't spoil it for me.
I don't want... in fact, if the book would be so much better if the olives weren't included.
Just take it out. What's your problem, author?
It's just one chapter. If that one chapter wasn't there, it'd be a perfect pizza.
I would love it so much better. It would make my best sellers list.
It would become my best friend.
Yeah.
At my wedding.
I would have it stand up next to me.
I'd have it give the eulogy.
But I'd write the speech for it because you can't trust it.
You can't really trust it. I know me better than anyone else.
And it would tell inappropriate stories about me. Yeah, that's how
no one likes that.
Nobody
but you know
does.
what everyone does like?
What?
Us.
Yes, they do.
The Boxcar buddies.
That's us. I'm Don.
I'm Greg.
And we are Boxcar buddies in the sense that, as two buddies, without regular or permanent residences to go to, Greg and I meet up inside of boxcars, which were discarded at some previous point, and that's why we're in this one here today. I'm knocking on this nice metal edge right there, and that's still
I'm looking
echoey
at this fine wood, this fine red wood.
Fine. It is fine.
It's pretty fine.
I think
If it had an ass, I'd slap it.
I think these are proper redwoods, like the sequoias.
Like the actual redwood.
I think it is. Yeah.
You know why they call it redwood?
Why?
Well, because it was born that way. It's a good question. I don't really know.
I'm not an herbologist.
Right. No, I thought maybe it was the beginning of a question. Like one tree was asking another tree a question, but it never finished it. Like it was in the process of being cut down. So like one tree's name is Red, and so it says Red Wood, and then it gets cut down. And so,
But that
hence
means that
redwoods.
another tree's name was Red, so it's talking to another tree.
Yes, and that tree.
It's
has,
like looking at the oak and going, Red? Or is it doing like the dumb person thing where trees talk in the third person?
It might be that.
Red hurt bad around stems.
Pine steal from Red.
Oak, sorry.
I think it's probably that. I think
Dogwood is neutral.
they refer to themselves in the third person, which makes tree conversations super confusing, and that's why they don't do it very often.
very sad that it's December.
Maple is horny.
Oak is very happy it's December.
Yeah, trees
Oh
are
no, it's January. Oak is not happy anymore.
dying.
Oak, final words be red no have pine cones. But red want. Give to red. Never oak die with pine
You see, this is probably a large part of why, like, when vegetarians argue, that plants feel and all that, you never really hear people speak up for trees in those arguments.
No.
Like, it's always flowers and plants and, like, they say nature, but I think people don't specify trees because of these conversations.
I would hate to be a lumberjack, because like you would hear that all day.
All the time. It's probably why they wear those, like the earplugs or like those ear covering things. You think it's from the chainsaws, but
maybe lumberjacks enjoy it.
yeah. They're like, oh, the tree conversations?
No, they enjoy the pain that the trees have after being cut down.
It's right, because they've listened to all those shitty conversations. It's payoff for them.
Oh God, hey, you've been talking about fucking maple syrup for like 2 days there, guy.
Get ready to die, huh?
Get ready for this axe there, bro.
Shut up forever, huh?
I'm gonna take your stump out and turn it into a bar stool.
And if
Dick.
the Lorax pops out, I'm fucking kicking his ass too. That's why. That's also why the Lorax was needed to speak for the trees, because fucking people got so sick and tired of tree speak that the Lorax had to come in and translate. Hey!
No, we're not doing Danny DeVito.
Hey!
Lorax.
I
No.
know, it's got to be the original.
That dude's a corporate shill for fucking motor vehicles.
He's sold
One of
out,
the leading
man.
causes for fucking environmental. The irony of that is still amazing.
Yes!
The Lorax says, use petroleum. It's the only way.
It's the best way. Yeah, right.
Solar power is for nerds.
It doesn't work. The sun abandoned us long ago.
I speak for the trees, and the trees say, give us the sunlight. You have enough of it.
Yeah. We need it. But yeah, anyway, what Greg and I do when we're in boxcars, including this one made of redwood, which is what's
And
spawned
usually
that.
tangent.
Yes, it's extremely tangential as we are. But that's what we do. We talk to each other, we tangent, and then we also sort of as a balm to the burn of day-to-day life, we will talk about content that we absorb over the week prior.
Consumed even.
Yes, through osmosis, whether it's watching
Osmosis Jones?
ideally,
Oh.
Bill Murray.
Oh, so it's really gross when it's in the outside world, but then it's a cute little cartoon in the inside
Even
world.
if it is a germ that's killing you, it's happy and fun and sings very well.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm a bacteria. I hang out in your blood cells.
And I brought breakfast. Yeah,
He's a nice guy.
he is.
That
He is.
flu virus.
He's gonna kill you, but he's gonna do it politely.
Don't worry, you'll have a little watery poop for a while, but you'll be fine. Guess what? You ain't going to work, kid.
Enjoy it.
I got you covered.
Play a game with yourself.
Play with yourself.
That is the game.
Your sex drive is going to be enormous because you're going to be shut from the outside world.
Practice constantly. So when you meet a real person, you can do some fun stuff together.
It's like getting on a bicycle, but you only have one handlebar.
And one nut. So beware.
Yeah. So in addition to the tangents, we talk about content, and that might take the form of Netflix shows through a storefront window, or books swiped from the library, or movies viewed inside of a theater into which we snuck.
Video games demofied as we raid a GameStop.
Yep. Any of these things that we can access in some way, shape, or form, we do that, and then we talk to each other about the things which we did absorb.
Yeah.
And Greg, I'm pretty sure you've got some games that you were
do.
that you were playing.
I
Yeah?
do.
What do you got?
I do.
Share them. What are these? What
So
are
I got into a little bit of trouble with the free clinic.
these? Oh,
So Freak isn't really letting me stay there anymore.
oh man.
There was an incident inside the morgue with all the fridges, and I forgot to plug in the fridge, and then things got really hot. and
Smelly.
Everyone was gone for the weekend, and
Yikes.
came back, and lo and behold, there Freak was looking in the morgue to see that I had unplugged the fridges and plugged in my Switch.
Oh
So,
no.
Yikes.
So he couldn't have been happy about that. Smell of decomposing bodies, I'm imagining.
I don't think it was the smell that bothered him.
No?
It was more like, we can't check the bodies anymore. They're all gooey.
He does hate that. He hates gooey
I
bodies.
hate gooey bodies. Looking at them just disgusts me.
They're pretty gross.
What have you done, Greg? What have you done? Picked me up and shook me around like, no, Freak, I'm sorry.
Damn. Oh my god, he's so violent.
He threw me out and told me I'm not welcomed.
So now what have you been doing? That was what?
Well-
you told me that happened like 5-6 days ago or something?
About
What do you
6 days ago. So I've been kind of like couch surfing or dumpster diving
Okay.
or bridge burrowing.
Yeah.
Anything that I just went back to my normal life.
Yeah.
So I went to check on Scummy. I haven't seen Scummy in quite some time.
Nice. I bet he was happy to see you.
Well, first, I thought he would be happy to see me because his new door is pretty much Greg-proof.
Oh wow, really?
So I was like, hey, you got this new door. I can't bust it down anymore, so let's be friends.
Is it one of the vault doors? Because I know he was talking about that. I saw like some catalog, very thick catalog too.
Yeah,
and it was just full of vault door stuff.
quite an ordeal. He spent a lot of time and money on getting that door installed. I don't know where he got the money though. I don't think he works.
He definitely doesn't. But
He's not homeless, but he's definitely unemployed.
I did hear from him last week that he got a grant for one of his research projects. So he got some.
What, someone granted him money, like a money fairy?
The government is the government.
The government is a money fairy?
If they give you a grant, yeah. If they grant you it, oh yeah. And all you got to do
Bullshit.
is apply and say some stuff like, oh hey. In Scummy's case, it was probably like, oi, I'm gonna research plants and save the world and all that.
What?
Yeah. And then
I
the
should be
government was
given a
probably like,
grant for my big ass hand.
You know what you should have done? What you should do is you can still write a letter and say like, yes, this is my prototype, but I want to do another one and I need some funds.
God, I didn't know that the government would just give free money. I thought their job was to take it.
It is going to cost us some postage to send the letter, but
I'll
email it.
find a way to do that.
You can email it.
Oh yeah, that's true.
There you go.
So in any case, I wanted to check out this new door and
Yeah.
see what Scummy's up to. It's been a long time since I actually sat down in Scummy's place. I've been
Totally.
usually hanging out at the free clinic for a very long time.
True,
I mean,
yeah.
it's just when you have a bed and a fridge, I mean, it's kind of dope.
It was a good setup there. It was a very good setup
It
you
was
had.
dope. Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah.
Had to take my big box of stuff.
Listen,
Yeah,
freak.
my masks and I mean my hats.
Your hats.
My hats,
That
my
allow you to-
leather spandex underwear.
Yeah.
That are very breathable.
Yes. The box of clothes that allow you to live your double life.
No, double life. Yeah, by day I'm a homeless guy. By night I'm a podcaster.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
my double life.
That's true. That's
it.
That is your double
I'm
life.
always thinking about this show in the back of my head. I'm like, oh,
Every
how can I
night.
really pile drive into something new today? Some new content. So I checked
Brutal
out.
nights.
So Scummy was doing some work and he needed me to house sit for a couple days. I'm like, that's dope. I can hang out with Virginia, catch up. See what she's been eating.
Yeah.
I can tell her what I've been eating.
Yeah.
And then we could probably play some video games together. And lo and behold, I go onto Scummy's PS4, and he happened to have some Devil May Cry.
Oh, Devil May Cry.
Yes.
Which ones did he have?
So he had the HD collection, which has 1, 2, and 3.
Lovely.
And he also had 4 special edition.
Whoa.
So there's 2 I actually kind of wanted to talk about.
Yeah, all right.
So this is my first time ever going through the Devil May Cry series in its full. The only game that I have completed before this recording was the very first game, and I hated it. It's bad.
Yeah.
It's a bad game.
Yeah, I
it
remember
does
that.
not hold up.
Yeah, that was PlayStation 2.
That was almost a PS2 launch title.
Yeah.
Like, that came out like a couple months after the PS2 was released. So it's very rough around the edges. I understand its like importance in gaming.
as the launching pad for the series. Yeah.
And plus, like, it's Hideki Kamiya. That dude's like one of my favorite directors. I
Right.
love his games. Resident Evil 4 and Beautiful Joe, Okami. He just does excellent games. Like,
Yeah.
just a lot of fun, stupid games.
Right.
But the first game is pretty trash. I think it's worth playing once just to, like, see what it was, like,
Yeah.
see how we've grown.
Get some story beats.
But
too.
after that, you're like, oof. This tone is everywhere because it starts fun and silly, then it gets really dark and depressing. I would have been there to fill your dark heart with light. It's shit like that where I'm
Yeah.
like, Dante, the dude that you spent so much time making look super cool, is a fucking dork.
So what? Yeah.
Also in
It's a
love
needy.
in love with a clone of his own mother.
I know. He's needy.
Trish's inclusion in the first game, I was like, ugh,
Yeah.
yuck.
It's pretty gross.
So,
It's Capcom Devil May Cry.
yes,
right?
it's Capcom.
Okay.
Capcom. Kamiya left after the first game, and it went to a new director, and he made 2, and 2 sucked ass. It's garbage. It's worse than the first game. It's almost unplayable. It is boring.
Damn.
It's sad. It's dour. It's stupid. It's bad.
How did this series survive, man? This is crazy.
3 happened. Once Devil May Cry 3 hit the scene, it was like, oh my God.
Nice.
This is my first time ever playing through 3, and I get it now.
Yeah?
I get it.
For anyone who hasn't played Devil May Cry, how would you describe the game? Like, what style of
It's
gameplay?
a action beat 'em up / hack and slash type game.
Right.
Where the whole point of the game is it's broken up into missions. Like, there's 18 levels, but you can kind of freely explore this world that you're in. You're usually given one big level. It's like a castle or a tower or something.
Right.
And in it, you either solve some puzzles that require action combat or just fight dudes in allotted amounts of time. And the faster you are and the better you play at the game, the more the game rewards you. So if you are doing pretty piss poor, which you definitely will in your first try with any of these games, because they're all hard.
Oh, yeah.
They are hard. Maybe not 4. I'll talk about 4 in a bit. Because that's the second one I played.
Oh, nice. Double dipping.
The whole double May Cry.
Oh, yes.
So it's all about being stylish. There's this huge ranking system in all the games of style. The better you play, the better you vary up your combos, change things up, change your weapons around, the more you're rewarded for how good you're playing. And usually, the better you play, the better the music gets. That's going to be a case in 5. so excited for 5 now.
Yeah.
Because I finally have all these games, except 2, under my belt.
Oh yeah, well yeah, if 2's that bad.
2 is tremendously bad. No one likes 2.
And it's correct me if I'm wrong, Greg, but Devil May Cry strikes me as the kind of game where like the story is important, but you can also enjoy the game. I think like you don't need to play 1, 2, 3, and 4. Would you say to like follow along completely?
You need. You kind of need all of them except 2.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Because 2 is completely skipped over.
Wow. Okay. Interesting.
That's how bad it did. Like it sold like crap. It performed like crap. No one liked it.
So 3's story accounts for like
3 is a prequel to the first game, and without 3, like after playing 1 and then playing 3, I'm like things in 1 made so much more sense.
I see.
Because like spoiler alert for the first Devil May Cry game, one of the bosses is Virgil, Dante's twin brother.
Right.
And it's revealed towards the end of the game, but you're like, why should I care? I don't know who Virgil is.
Yeah.
3 goes, okay, your main antagonist is Virgil. We're going to spend this whole game showing the power dynamic between Virgil and Dante.
So 3 made him a lot cooler in context for
3
1
made
then.
everyone cooler.
Nice.
So right out the gate, 3 nails its fucking tone. Like, the opening movie is just Dante eating pizza and throwing enemies around in his fucking office.
I remember that. I remember that video.
And it's so well done. It's so interesting. And then when you get into the combat, it's so much more fun and focused than the first game. They really thought about combos. They really thought about, like, hey, what are some cool skills that would be really dope later in the game? And then they introduced the style system, which I fucking love. For the style system, in 3, Dante can switch between 4 different specials. You can only do this at the beginning and end of missions or if you find, like, an item store. But it causes you to do a bunch of shit. So Trickster gives you an extra dodge and eventually an air dash. Swordmaster gives you way more attacks for your weapons. That's my preferred choice. The more weapon abilities you can use, the better. There's Gun Master, where you just use more gun skills depending on the gun you have equipped. And then there's Royal Guard, which is just your standard block. I don't like that one very much, just because, like, since I'm new to the series, I'm still not excellent at it. I think I've gotten 3 down, but I played through a lot of 4, and I want to kind of get into that. So
Sure.
3, I get it. Like, it's great. And it still holds up. If you can get your hands on any of the Devil May Cry HD collections, I know they're out for everything. I think they just released them for PS4 and Xbox 360. There's a PC version now too. Highly recommend finding it if it's on sale. Get it really dirt cheap.
Yeah.
And then play 1 and 3. Play 1 on like the easiest difficulty just to get it out of the way.
Let me ask you, do you think it'd be worth playing 3 first as a prequel and then playing 1? Okay.
No. I think it's worth seeing the difference because if to go from 3 to 1, yuck.
Yeah, the play
like you
system.
become way more limited and Dante as a character is not the same.
So you probably would struggle, I'm imagining, to even play through 1 if you started with 3.
I think you should power through the first game first just to get it over with, then go to 3 and 4.
Gotcha.
And then you're covered.
Okay.
But I get it now. 3 is a goddamn masterpiece. It's
Cool.
so fun. There are some issues like the forced camera angles. That's still like a PS2 thing. That's still very much like because it was originally a Resident Evil game. That's
right.
why
I always remember that. Like you like because some games would allow you to manipulate the camera, and then these wouldn't.
Yeah.
So it was like I remember personally playing through them and constantly trying to move the camera, and always being reminded like, shit, I can't. It's stuck in this
That's
spot.
why the first game is so rough. 3 has a couple of those moments, but for the most part, you're given very big open areas for your boss fights, and the boss fights in 3 are excellent. They're so fun. So after I finished 3, I had a great time with it. I said, you know what? I think it's time I play 4.
Yeah.
I knew almost nothing about 4 except that you don't start as Dante. You start a new character named Nero.
Fun.
He looks exactly like Dante.
Oh.
He's got white hair.
Confusing.
He wears a red coat.
Uh-huh.
But his difference is he has this devil arm.
Oh, a devil arm. He's a Hellboy.
I mean, they're
all Hellboys. Yeah,
all
they're demons.
demons.
Right. But he has the physical manifestation.
He has a physical claw, like a
Sweet.
red hand with like blue glowy palm.
Dope.
4 is the best game to play, I think.
All right.
In terms of gameplay itself, it feels so fucking good. Like they took everything that was great about 3 and then just amplified it by 1,000 with 4. It runs like a dream. It's so fun to play. They finally mastered like how items and abilities should be sold. Instead of using one full currency, there's now 2.
Oh, okay.
You're heavily penalized if you're doing really, really bad in the game. The game actively encourages you to start getting better, to understand the systems. If you don't understand like certain enemy patterns, you can just leave a room, come back, and they'll pop up again just so you can practice.
Oh, nice. Can you still get like any loot from those guys once you kill them the first time? Okay, cool.
Yeah, you can still get red orbs, and you get proud souls, which is the new currency included in 4. That's how you buy all your abilities.
Okay.
So you get more proud souls the better you do.
Cool.
Just if you're being badass, you get a shit ton of proud points at the end of every mission.
Cool.
It's so different, though, and there's one thing I really don't like about 4. So the first half of the game, it really sets up Nero as the main character. You're hunting down Dante. You go through this whole campaign, you fight all these bosses, you do all these levels. It's pretty great for what it is. Nero's a different character. He's not as fun as Dante. I think he's cool, though.
Yeah.
He's still really fun to play. He has a completely new play style, so it's so much interesting. But then when you get halfway into the game, you re-control Dante, which is excellent, and he's just a better version of his version in 3.
Yeah.
Where they merge the super cocky, over-the-top kid from 3 and mixed him with a little bit more seriousness.
Yeah.
And just make him like this snarky dick.
Nice.
It's perfect. Dante is perfect in this game to control, to play as. It's the best way to play as Dante. But you have to redo every single fucking boss fight and mission
that you did as Virgil?
That you already did as Nero.
Oh, Nero, sorry. Oh my god, dude, that is horrible.
So you go through all the levels. You start in like an ice castle, and then you're in a jungle, and then you're at like the Evil Order's headquarters. And then you pick up as Dante, and you go all the way outside of the Holy Order place, like reverse.
Uh-huh.
Then you have to go through the jungle. Then you have to go through the ice castle.
Oh.
So you have to go all the way back.
Order.
You have to go back to the very start of the game. So you get the straight line as Nero. You go all the way up to the top, and then as Dante, you go all the way back down to the bottom.
Yeah. Is Nero just like waiting in the Holy Order place while Dante...
He's kidnapped. He's kidnapped, and Dante has to take over.
Gotcha.
And it makes sense in the story because it's explained why Nero looks so much like Dante.
Uh-huh.
I won't give the spoiler away. I think people can kind of guess. He's not his dad, though.
Okay.
It's
we'll just leave it there.
Pretty close, though.
It's a sliver of a spoiler right there.
Dante, I love playing as Dante in 4 because now instead of having to go to your like item shop to change your styles and your weapons, you can just do it.
Oh, great.
Like whenever you want.
I love
that.
I'm
like, so I don't have to go through pause screens over and over and over and fucking over again.
Yeah.
But you have to fight all the same bosses again.
That's a big...
And that's fucking lame.
It's a big deterrent, man.
I'm like, I already fought these guys as Nero, and I got used to fighting them as Nero. They fight differently.
Yeah. And just the whole thing of putting your time and effort into a game, investing that... You go through, it's already like, that sounds like a cool change of pace to go to like an ice place and then a jungle and then like, you know, it's nice. If that were me, I'm thinking of like, you know, similar games and stuff that excites you for the latter half of the game. You're like, oh, look at these changes in scenery and look at these new bosses. To just revert and go back through the ones you already did, I mean, like that is such a non-incentive. Like it's
not great.
Deterrent, man.
The good thing is the game is so fun to play, and you are playing a completely different character. But the downside is, again, you are doing these all over again. This is the same problem I had with Dragon Quest XI.
Yeah,
you get to the post game, And it's the same shit you've already done. It's the same boss fights. It's the same dungeons with almost nothing changed.
And it just doesn't that seem like not that I know about it or anything, but like lazy programming, right? Like you're trying to kind of just like do more with having programmed less in the game.
Well, I think this game did have like kind of a development hell, so I can kind of understand it.
Sure, okay.
At least like I know that they fixed a bunch of shit with the special edition that's out now for every console and PC. Whereas the original release was pretty rough around the edges.
Was that a PS3 release?
It was a
for
PS3, Xbox 360 release.
Okay.
And then they made the special edition for current consoles and PC.
Gotcha. Okay. And when does 5 come out?
5 comes out in March.
Wow.
So now that I've played 1, 3, and 4, I'm very excited for 5 because 5 looks like it's had a lot of time put into it. They know what they're doing.
Sweet.
And plus just being more Dante, man.
Yeah.
I just love Dante. He's just a great, like, I guess Gary Stu kind of character.
I'm not familiar. Who's Gary Stu?
Gary Stu is like a Mary Sue, but for guys. It's like a description you say for characters that are perfect.
Oh, okay.
That have like no faults to them. They are perfect.
Yeah.
They have like everyone loves them. They're great at what they do.
Yeah, just universally like appreciated.
Yes,
Yeah.
Dante is 100% a Gary Stu.
Gotcha.
But what I love about him is that the way that he's described is he's cool, but he doesn't swear. He's like a cool dork.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah, go through 1, 3, and 4 with Dante. He never swears once.
Wow. And then, but obviously, everyone else in the game like swears.
Everyone else has some pretty heavy language. I think he said like a couple damns in 3, but he's a kid.
Yeah.
Whereas
and
now,
damn is you can say damn on the air on the radio.
He doesn't say anything super hard like that. Nero is his like counterpart to be like the punk kid.
He swears all the time.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, you jackass!" Ugh. He gives like the middle finger a lot, and Dante is just all about like, "Hey man, I love doing this." There's a great boss fight. You get this awesome weapon with Dante in 4 where you can shoot little rose petals. So he shoots all these rose petals while he sings like a poem about like getting hard.
What the hell?
Into like this big stone tablet that like summons demons. It turns it into a heart when he claps his hands. After it's all cut, he's like, it's a perfect heart. And then he throws another one into it, and it cracks, and the heart breaks.
Oh, nice.
And he's just like, I'm sorry, Toots. You broke my heart.
Oh, Dante.
He's such a dork.
Yeah,
I love him.
Yeah. No, I understand the appeal there. That sounds cool. Devil May Cry.
I understand it now. I get it. I enjoy the series a lot.
Cool.
And I'm so excited for 5.
That's very
5 is
exciting.
going to be a fucking blast.
Yeah. It sounds like if you can, like, grab those special editions of them, right?
Yeah,
that'd be an easy way.
Grab the special editions of all of them, see if you can get them real cheap. I know 4 is pretty cheap now.
And just omit 2 altogether. Everybody just omit 2.
Highly recommend if you can get your hands on the PC version, because it runs at 60.
Oh, fun. Okay, that makes it better.
60
always.
frames per second for friendos who don't know. So,
which is huge. That's
that's
for
a
gaming,
huge deal for a fucking action game.
Absolutely. You want that.
That makes the fucking difference to everything.
Mm-hmm. Okay, fine.
Highly recommend.
Well, that's great. Devil May Cry. Check that out.
Yeah, man.
Cool. Well, Greg, I got into some older movies. I went down to. So this was an interesting one. I went down to the Stony Island Feeders. Lives.
Who doesn't love Stony?
He's great. He's just right off the Bishop Ford there.
Stony.
Well, you did take more than he authorized of the goulash when you came there the last time. So he holds grudges about goulash.
I'm just not cool with a host who puts ball gags in their guests' mouths.
I know. That is very strange.
I don't think it's cool.
It's very strange. I've never understood it.
We've complained about it before. I don't like it.
He doesn't offer any explanation for it
either.
either.
Trying to eat goulash with a ball gag? It sucks.
And it's always a different person. That's the weirdest part. It's not like a GIMP situation like in Pulp Fiction. It is a different person every time you go in there. He's got like a rotating band of prisoners or something.
Yeah.
Or I mean, maybe it's how someone bargains to just watch something and Stoney has some kind of weird...
What is he, a fucking dry cleaner for fucking kinks?
I have no idea.
Puts them all on a rotating little rack?
All right there. You're gonna be free today. You came in last week and your bill's been paid.
You can sit on the couch now. Take it out of there. Yeah, he does.
Make sure to wash it. I'm gonna put it in Stevens.
That's right. And I'm not having him eat your goulash that came out of your mouth. Yeah, that's a little, for anyone who hasn't, it's Stoney. That's what he sounds like. He's from the Highlands of Scotland. Not sure how he made his way to Chicago, but now he lives in this dome made of melted metal and sewer caps and car parts and all this weird stuff.
Think
and
of like a hay patch, but it's just like melted street signs and metal.
Yep, yeah, all kinds of city, waste, and he's just melted it into like a big biodome, and he lives down there, and he's got a lot of weird baubles and trinkets, and he always hosts, he has movie nights, and so I went down to his a few weeks ago, and the weird thing, though, is that this time I brought Charles with me. I brought Charlie, the East Coaster with the bad sinus,
the nose thing.
Yeah, and so
that dude's a creep.
I know, and
he's silent too.
And Stoney really did not. He really didn't like him.
Did he put the ball gag in him?
He looked like he really wanted to, but somebody already had the ball gag in their mouth. So Charlie just sat next to me, and it was
couldn't rotate it. Like you had to change the hosts every hour.
I think he was waiting until after one of these movies, and then it was going to be somebody else's turn. But anyway, so I went over there with Charlie, and Charlie didn't get to eat any goulash, but he did still sit there like he's a mouth breather, because he's got the.
I don't know. I don't understand how we didn't catch him last time. That dude is sneaky.
He's very sneaky.
He's fast too. And he's so fucking round. It makes no sense.
It makes no sense. His body's shaped like a top. Like he's got a very wide, like midsection lap band going on.
That dude's got love handles.
Yeah, he really does. But he's got these soft shoes, like soft leather shoes, and tiny feet, and he's very light on his feet. And he manages to sneak around in places.
It's like he's filled with helium. He's like a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man balloon.
He is. It's like he's wired up. It's like he's on wires on a stage, and he's constantly.
Could you even imagine that? Charles just flying by the air.
Hey guys, it's me here at the Thanksgiving Macy's Day Parade. It's the magic show's about to start here. We got some magicians coming up, and the tricks are gonna be great. All my friends are coming out from my boats. I have many boats.
He does live on the docks, yeah, and he's
like a sneaky ninja pirate.
I know, and I think maybe the air above the lake might be why he's so stuffed up all the time. Maybe he has a sinus infection that he never got, he never bothered to get fixed or anything. But so yeah, he
he has constant nosebleeds and he has little tissues in there.
Oh, maybe that's what it is. Yeah, I did see him. He does have like pocket squares, and he does have like a Kleenex thing inside his suit jacket. So he was constantly, during the first movie we watched at Stoney's, which
maybe he's not so much stuffy. Maybe he's more drippy than we think.
He may be. Yeah. He and then he's got to completely plug the leak, and that's why he's like,
I got no airflow. I just got no airflow in my nose.
To explain the rhinoplasty of his nose.
Yeah, it's thin. It's a thin bridge that he's got, and very long. So, but anyway, the first movie that we watched that Stoney was showcasing was the 2016 DC comic movie Suicide Squad.
Yuck!
It was bad. It was bad. I don't need to say anything about it.
Let's move on to the next movie.
It's 2016. It's a terrible fucking movie. I just wanted to say that to anybody in case you haven't seen it and you're debating it. Don't watch it. It's a big waste of time. The dialogue is so bad. All it is shots of Margot Robbie as fucking Harley Quinn and ignoring Will Smith, this fucking Academy Award winner in the background.
What was the name of the Japanese girl again? Like her character name?
I know.
Her name is blank. She's got a sword that steals your soul.
It's right. Yeah, exactly.
And shit and it's said so half-assed. It's a sword and it'll steal your soul with every man she kills.
Yeah. It is. The dialogue is like that.
Here's Ladder Man. His ability is ladders.
They spend so
spend so much time in that fucking movie introducing everyone character,
and then they spend even more time reintroducing because they introduce you to Will Smith, who's Deadshot, and the guy says he's never missed a shot. He's the deadliest shot in the world. Hence his name, Deadshot.
And then 20 minutes later,
he is
dead shot.
And then they show him in a backyard with a gun and a shooting range being watched by the cops as if they need to prove what his skill is to put him on this suicide squad where he's gonna die. They put him in this backyard and he just shoots everybody in the forehead, all these non-moving targets. They spent like 3 minutes of screen time showing that Will Smith can shoot real good, and he's Deadshot. It was so fucking stupid. I was like, this is just, it's so bad. And what they did with Killer Croc looked like an old man with a giant head.
Killer Croc looks like a dried out turd that's been sitting on a fucking pavement that's stacked full of peanuts.
He's supposed to be gigantic and threatening and this sewer creature. He's like 5'9" or something in the movie. All his skin is wrinkled. He's got like an old man body. He's hunched over with like man tits. And he's got this gigantic head. And he says like 3 lines. One of them is
because of all the fucking prosthetic teeth in his mouth, he can barely speak.
I know.
What do you think about that, Croc?
Yeah, it was like that. Except for the one line that they forced him to have. Of his 3 lines, one of them was asking for BET in the prison. I was like, I'm sure that is just not important to Killer Croc as a character at all. The movie betrayed like all these characters. Nobody looked like they wanted to be there, especially Will Smith. I
wonder why the DC cinematic universe is crumbling on itself.
Crumbling horribly. And then let's not even talk
why do you think the Joker's been recasted 4 times?
That's what I was going to say. Let's not even talk about the Joker played by Jared Leto in fucking Suicide Squad. He should never have been in that fucking movie. If they were going to do it well, he should have been a ghost character for Harley or whatever.
He should have just been in the background, or he should have been the post-credits scene.
Yeah, totally. But like, you leave him off, and they can talk about him all fucking movie.
I just keep thinking about that scene where he's lied down on the ground, and he's supposed to be his dramatic laugh, and it's just
yeah. He's like right. He's a disinterested old man.
Can't even say H. It's just
It's the 1A on the script. It just reads as 1A. Spaced apart and spaced apart.
Disappointed!
Surprised. But yeah, so anyway, Suicide Squad, don't watch it. I just wanted to say that because I wanted, in case anyone was thinking about it, maybe this weekend you were like, I want to get caught up on DC. Do yourself a favor and don't. And stay away from Suicide Squad for sure.
Okay, what's the good thing that you watched then?
After that, they swapped in Mad Max Fury Road from 2015. And that
is a good-ass movie.
Is a good fucking movie. Winner of 6 Academy Awards, mostly for like makeup and costume design and the sound mixing. Very, very, just a cool movie. Like the desert. It was like a movie of like the Borderlands games, you know, like just post-apocalyptic.
I mean, what do you think Borderlands took an inspiration from?
Of course, if you're familiar with
Thunderdome.
If you're familiar with the Mad Max movies with like Mel Gibson from the from whatever those were, the 80s, I want to say, like
the 80s.
Those, those are this is in that vein, but it's just, it's a lot more modernized. You got Tom Hardy as the lead doing his again Bane thing with something in front of his mouth for some reason for half that movie.
Also, he barely speaks, which is why
I'm ready to do this in the desert.
It's like,
and the villain also has a thing on his face, too.
He does, yeah, exactly.
And he's also got like these weird wart things all over his back, and he's so icky.
Oh, totally. Like just hair and like all their whole prison and like this colony in the desert. That
I love it so much.
Dude, yeah,
I love it so much. It's so fucked.
It's very
and it's
twisted.
So funny.
And yeah, it's twisted. It's funny. It's like this, a prison. This one dictator of the desert is keeping water as his, is how he keeps everyone a prisoner. He has this dam built. And he controls the water supply of like anyone living in the area. And so you've got all these like people just at his beck and call, and he puts on these rallies, and he's got these...
They all put spray cans in their mouths, and they spray paint their teeth, and like, what a glorious day!
Yeah! Witness! Yeah, that was one thing. I did think that was kind of cool. The prisoners of this desert guy, they talk about Valhalla all the time. They talk about like, oh, I'm awaited in Valhalla. They're
shiny and crow.
Yeah, they're a warrior mentality, and they're brainwashed completely so that dying in battle for them is the ultimate reward.
Dying in a car.
Dying in a car, yeah, exactly.
Because cars are so fucking important in the Mad Max universe.
Absolutely, yeah, and that's why everybody, the whole the movie becomes very quickly.
We don't have Petrol.
There's no gas.
No petrol.
I need to go to a
We need
station.
to make a trip to Bendigo.
But yeah, so the movie quickly becomes a chase through the desert. This desert dictator man lost all his wives, the breeders as they call them. Charlize Theron kidnaps all of them and takes them across the desert. And one of them's crazy pregnant, and they meet up with Mad Max, and that's the whole thing that goes on. But it's a very good movie. It looks, obviously, as we said, with the costume design and the award winnings that they did, it looks very cool. It sounds very cool. Great color schemes, like great lighting, and there's not a ton of dialogue, as we mentioned. Like Tom Hardy has this thing over his face a lot, so he's not talking. And the villain, he
just doesn't talk in general. That's been Max's character for all the movies.
Yeah.
He barely speaks. Like Max is the main character, but he's not the protagonist.
No, exactly. And in this movie, Charlize Theron was Imperator Furiosa, I believe her name was. And
fucking cool ass
the names in the
she's got a fucking robot arm.
All of the names in this thing too. I was looking at like all the credits and the characters. Their names are so great. Like they're just one of them's just like Nuck. I think one of the prisoners' names is just Nuck. It's great. Like they're just such interesting names. But it's very cool. It's a very different kind of movie. It takes you on a journey you're not expecting. As Greg mentioned, like Max is this very silent, sort of stoic hero for the most part, and like Charlize Theron, therefore, is like conversely to him, like she speaks a lot more. She has a lot more to say, and so it's real cool. And then the jumping along between different vehicles, the action scenes, the fights that they have, so much fun. I mean, such a joy. The last 20-30 minutes of it are very, very exciting, edge of your seat stuff. So
I would say the whole movie feels that way because it's almost nonstop action,
pretty fast paced. Yeah.
My favorite scene in that entire movie is when I think it's Nuck. I think that's the kid who plays Beast.
Nicholas Holt. Yeah.
It's right before he becomes a good guy. It's his last chance to like prove to the car warlord. And like the car warlord like fucking spray paints his teeth.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll be waiting for you in Valhalla.
Yes.
And he goes to jump to the fucking tanker, and he fucking misses.
Bites it. He wipes out.
And then the guy, like, without a fucking pause, just scoffs and goes, mediocre.
Yes, that's right. He does. I love that. That part made me laugh out loud.
I think about that scene to this day.
Mediocre.
Ever since I saw it in theaters, I was like, that's incredible.
Yeah, no, it's great. Like, because the character of Nicholas Holt, Nuck, the whole movie up to this point, all he wants to do, again, is die in a car, die in battle, and so
then once he gets healthy blood and a girlfriend, he's like, oh,
I don't need Valhalla.
I don't need no Valhalla anymore.
Valhalla's vanilla now. But
Valhalla's for Val virgins.
That's right, for Valginas. But Mad Max. If you haven't caught it yet, Fury Road from 2015, check it out. It's if you're looking for action or just cool looking and sounding movies, it is right up there, man. Very cool, worth your time.
Yeah, I stand by that film. I enjoy that movie a lot. I think that was my favorite movie from 2015.
Yeah, it was great.
Movie.
Yeah, and now speaking of a good time, we're gonna have a good time here. We're gonna bring a message from the Greg's List grab bag.
You know what time it is?
What?
It's Greg's List time.
For those who are new to the show, what we like to do is bring you into the boxcar. Because that's the whole point of being a boxcar buddy.
You're our buddy. We want you in here with us. And this segment where we reach into the inbox at gregslist@gmail.com, where you can send anything. We reach into that, swirl our hands around electronically, and pick out a message from somebody.
Yeah.
And then we read it back to you, and we answer your question, or we give our feedback, or do whatever it is that you would like us to do.
Yeah, anything you want. It could be questions and concerns. It could be recommendations. It could even just be simple-ass questions or stories about your life and day.
A pleasant hello is always fine by us.
So, what
do we got?
This one's new.
What do we got today,
This
Greg?
one just came in.
Oh, okay, cool. Nice.
And now I've got you.
Well, that's ominous. And now I've got you. That's the subject?
And now I've got you.
All right. Well, yeah, this is another example. You can send anything.
Yeah, you can
to
send
the
anything.
inbox.
I mean,
even ominous subject
ominous
lines.
threats.
Okay, what is it? Where does it go from there?
All right, so Greg and Don, after months of meticulous tracking, resulting in failure after failure, I finally found how to reach you. Yeah, with Gregslist at gmail.com.
That's right.
That's 3 G's, Regslist at gmail.com.
Yeah, that's obvious. That's thanks for paying attention, buddy. Welcome to the show.
Just when I'd given up hope of ever finding you, always one step, one boxcar behind, I discover that you, like all the rest of the sad millennial masses, are spewing out verbal pod excrement. That's rude.
It's rude. Not inaccurate, I guess, but it's a little bit
sure. We're in our late 20s, early 30s.
Negatively steeped. It's definitely throwing some shade, but yeah, all right.
Don't get me wrong. The show is excellent.
Oh.
Well,
that's a totally... That's a 180.
Backhanded compliment.
That's a 180. Digital backhanded compliment. Nicely done.
And I'll be sad to see it go once I book your sorry asses.
What? What the hell? Book?
Oh, you're probably wondering who this is. Let's just say, Don, that Greg couldn't have come upon the parts required to make his precious little robot hand without burning a few bridges.
What? Greg, what is he talking about? Do you have any idea?
No.
Oh my god, what the fuck, man?
And FYI, Greg, I'm going to take that metal hand and then I will crush you with it. It's only a matter of time. Detective Randy McDowell.
Randy McDowell? Dude, I've heard of that guy.
Ooh, what a crazy prank email. What a fun prank that
Greg,
was. Wow.
What is this?
Woo!
How do you
What a
know
prank
Randy
email.
McDowell? Dude, I've heard of Randy McDowell before, man.
No, what, Randy? No.
Martha told me all about him, man. He's the guy who
Martha
booked her.
doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about
She
half of the
spent
time.
time in the big house, man. She's been in prison. She said Randy McDowell's the guy who put her there.
No.
What did you do, man?
Randy is just a guy. He's just a name that someone made up. It's probably some kind of like, I don't know, like some kind of acronym or something.
Give me that robot hand.
No.
I twisted it off.
Ow,
There.
ow.
Now,
No.
You tell me where he is right now.
Okay.
Who is he?
I'm putting my stump up. He's a goddamn detective here in the city, and I destroyed his car to make that hand.
What?
I took his police wagon, and I also took his Ferrari, and I busted the shit out of them and made that hand.
Wow. That's why it's got that... It's always had that dark, dope-ass paint job on the outside. This is why it's like a dark metal hand.
Yeah, thank you.
Greg, I gotta say, that's pretty awesome, man.
I know, isn't it dope?
It's fucking awesome. You take this back, man.
I
That's
fucking
amazing.
tore that car.
Fuck Ferrari drivers.
Oh my God.
And fuck Detective Randy McDowell, man.
I
You
just-
were one boxcar behind. He just figured out about Craigslist at gmail.com.
We've been talking about that for months, you fucking
You
idiot.
suck. Come and get us. Oh my god.
Loser.
That's
What
hilarious.
a loser.
That's hilarious.
Honestly,
dude.
for a second, I thought you were going to be really mad with me.
No, honestly, you know what? If it was somebody, a little bit more threatening, I think maybe I would be a little worried. But, dude, we ditch these boxcars every week. Not to mention, get in fucking line, man. How many guys are pursuing both of us for various deals that we've made in the past that have gone wrong? I can't even go back to Stoney's because fucking Charlie sneezed all over his fucking couch and Stoney had to hire a new cleaner. Somebody else is going to be in the GIMP mask next fucking week. Everybody's coming, man.
I know. And you should have seen his face when he saw the car apart and me banging his wife. Oh, man.
Wow. Mrs. McDowell, huh?
Ex-Mrs. McDowell.
Oh, ruined the car and the marriage. That's my man.
I broke it apart.
Dude,
I pile drive that car.
Well, okay, so...
I German suplexed it
That's...
into oblivion.
Because you have experience
Because
with
I
that.
have great upper body strength.
Yes, as witnessed by anyone who has seen the...
No, just ask
the
my buddy.
one-armed wrestler.
Just ask my buddy, the killer whale.
The killer whale. I was going to call him El Orca for some reason, but I could not remember killer whale.
He's called that in Latin-speaking countries.
Okay, because he is worldwide. He does tour around the
He
world
is,
as a luchador, right? He's got the mask. Mm-hmm. Very cool. But yeah, listeners, anyway, I guess thank you, Randy, for listening to the show. Appreciate the backhanded compliment anyway. But yeah, listeners,
Yeah,
you can
you know what? I'm glad that you listen to us, Randy, so we can keep rubbing it in your fucking face.
Yeah,
loser.
indeed. Yeah, one step behind, indeed. But no, listeners, we do appreciate submissions.
I'm one step forward all the time, and I don't even have metal legs
That's right.
yet.
Yeah, no, it's not yet.
Did you get a new car there, Randy? You know, I'm looking for another arm.
What are you driving? A hatchback these days? You got to drive some shit. There's no way you could get another Ferrari.
Soon you're going to be in a hearse, because you'll be dead.
You come at us. You come looking for that. Yeah, we don't, listeners, we don't advocate, the stealing of cars or destruction of property or the ruining of marriages or anything like that. But
No, we are good Christian and possibly any other religion boys.
yeah, absolutely. But also desperate from time to time, and with desperation
And hungry.
hunger. With both of those, with desperation and with hunger, come the collapsing of standards and social norms
And bridges.
Yeah, and unwillingness to go there. But anyway, we appreciate you coming here, and I think now would be a good enough time to set fire to this thing, and maybe we can leave a nice little message for Detective McDowell there.
I'm going to leave some of my urine so that they're like, ooh,
Yeah.
the crime lab, we found out it's Greg.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna burn this, and then I'm gonna come back to it later. I'm gonna take like a steaming dump on the pile of ashes there, and probably write my name in that. It'll be a mixture of boxcar ash and human excrement, and that'll be my message to Detective McDowell. But before we go, just a reminder to you: do play Devil May Cry. Get the special editions that came out recently.
Yeah.
You can play it on the PC or PlayStation or
the
Xbox.
Xbox.
And
I don't think you could play it on Nintendo.
well, that's fine.
Not just yet.
Not yet, anyway.
I don't
but,
think Nintendo can handle all the pizza drinking that Dante does.
probably not. But yeah, they wouldn't like it. But skip 2, no matter what you do. However
Yeah.
you play it, you can skip
2
over
is a stink time. 2 is a stink hole.
Another stink hole you can avoid would be Suicide Squad from 2016. Don't give it a
Yeah,
look.
that's a pile of dirt.
And conversely, do check out Mad Max Fury Road from 2015. That's a journey worth taking, for sure.
Yes, a very long, sad, fun, action-packed, guitar riffing, flamethrower shooting guitar man, thrilling ride.
Desert of a time. And so thank you
It's
very much.
definitely not mediocre.
Definitely not mediocre, despite what the dictator yells. But this boxcar has been mediocre, Greg, as is the effort by our pursuant. I brought some matches for this.
And so when, Detective, when you do listen to this, come and find us.
Good luck. Best of luck, buddy.
In fact, we'll give you a head start. I'll just sit here for the next 2 hours.
There you go. That's no problem. So now you know what to do, Randy. I'm just going to say Randy. I'm not even going to give him
I call him Rando.
Rando.
Randy.
He is a rando. But yeah, and then this will probably burn within the next hour or so, and yeah. But Rando, feel free to keep submitting. Feel free to keep submitting to the inbox there.
Yeah, keep telling us how far behind you are.
Yeah, how frustrated it must make you.
Oh, it makes you so angry. It does.
Yeah, it's got to be personal for him at this point. With the loss of the car.
By the
and
way, do you
wife.
have like one of those police trackers inside your car? He probably does. He's a detective, right?
Yeah, I would think so.
All right, I'm coming for that.
Yeah,
So make sure you double lock your car. It doesn't matter. I'll just break the windows.
yeah. We flipped this on you, buddy. You're coming for us. Greg's coming
I'll
for
probably
you.
flip your car too. It'd
Yeah.
be dope. Me and my best friend, Killer Whale.
Yeah, you guys
Come
flip
by.
that. You guys
We'll
flip
flip it.
that all the time.
Yeah, he's got one arm. I've got one arm. That means we can double arm it.
Yeah, you'll have two.
Like one person.
Just like one person, yes.
And we will have the strength equal to one human.
You do have 4 legs, though, when the two of you go at something that way. It's one.
It feels like it's 2 legs sometimes.
I bet it does. I bet it feels like it's 2 legs all the time.
No, it's 4 legs because
No.
there is definitely 2 people.
No. Well, I mean, I would believe that, except that there's a luchador mask sticking out of your hoodie pocket.
Because I'm
right
holding
now.
it for him.
Bullshit.
I'm holding
Always
it
have
for
that.
him.
You
I'm
always
holding
have
it
that.
for him
No
because
way.
Killa doesn't want his true identity found out.
All right.
Because, hey, this man that carries around the mask of the killer whale, that must be the killer whale. No, you're wrong.
You're saying you're a red herring?
I sure am.
Oh, my
In fact, that's my wrestler name.
You're Red Herring, and he's Killer Whale.
Yeah.
Why would you want to be Red Herring? That doesn't strike fear into
Because
the
then
heart of anybody.
it will trick everybody, thinking like, haha, you thought I was the villain, but it was the Killer Whale all along.
A double blind. You guys are doing a double blind with
Yeah,
the
we're
wrestling
double
thing?
bluffing all the time.
All right, well, that's cool.
Sometimes we swap
Yeah?
masks.
So he becomes the Red Herring and you're Killer
Yeah,
Whale?
so then we can trick. We do all these tricks.
Man, this is some deep production value for a non
We gotta
sanctioned wrestling
give-
league.
We gotta give the viewers what they really want: a good heel and another heel,
A good heel into someone's chest from a turnbuckle.
and also a good heel, as we will probably be putting a lot of these people into the hospital.
Yes. Cha. But yeah, that's you can write all that in your book there, Randy. And this is now these flames
Randy,
are really,
more like Brandy, hit the booze, loser.
Hey! Yeah, these flames are really starting to come down now. Okay. Well, thanks so much.
It's hot.
Really? Okay. Yeah, this is great. We should have cleaned up before I started the fire. That's
I
my
should have
bad.
started wrapping up.
Sorry,
It's too hot.
Ouch! Damn
Ow!
it! Fuck. Thank you so much. We gotta go now. We're gonna
fuck,
die. Goodbye.
Fuck! Shit!
The flames! The flames!
What you just heard was a fantasy, a fiction cooked up for your amusement and the catharsis of the hosts. Please, have mercy on them.